Hi, this is Cindy Cochran. Welcome to the podcast of my show. Remember, you can join me live every weekday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on Lone Star Community Radio, on Conroe's FM 106.1 and 104.5, and globally on irlonestar.com. And don't forget, you can download our app at your app store. If you're a big fan of my podcast, subscribe to my YouTube and SoundCloud channels. And you're always invited to my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show, for the latest show info. Thank you again for listening, and now enjoy. Good. Go ahead. We're on. All right. Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. This is Cindy Cochran, and of course, we're on. Yes, I knew it. I knew we were on. And it is Thursday. I know it's Thursday, and it's the 2nd of March, and this is Sam Houston's birthday. And there's so many things I know and that I could, tell you about, but. Yeah, I got to pace myself and keep it, so that you'll stay with me on the show. But yesterday we had so much fun with Bob Smiley and his group of people. I love how he has fans everywhere. I mean, like internationally, he has fans. So the Cindy Cochran Show is a perfect venue for him because everybody can just jump on their internet and come to the irlonestar.com, and there he was. And also everybody around town that's driving around going, listening to the radio, the 106.1 or the 104.5 go, oh my word, Bob Smiley is on the radio right here in Conroe. And I don't know how we should do it to make sure everybody knows that Conroe has its own FM station. 2 stations with the 106.1 right in the Conroe, and it creeps into the Woodlands, and then also 104.5, which is Willis, Waverly, New Waverly, and so we're spread out that way. But you always can go to the internet, globally transmitted, the irlonestar.com, and if you're looking for a place to settle down in and lock it in on your radio, this is the place to be, because we are the community radio station that, in case there is an emergency, if there's an emergency, you will come here to the station for sure. Of course, you'll already be on it, and then you'll find out what's going on and what you need to do. And go out and buy more bread and milk and all that, because the electricity will be off. But those kind of messages will come through the station, and you want to be sure and be tuned in. So it's exciting to have that, your very own. And we're trying to get that message out. So tell your family, your friends, your neighbors that we have our own station. And especially if you like country music, it's right here. And Richard is the one that finds all these songs. And I'm amazed. I listen to him, and, I'm not that crazy about country music, but he's found some songs that I go like, I want to hear that one again, because I'm trying to be loyal to the station and listen to it. And maybe that's how he needs to speak through me. Instead of trying to always email me and not get the response he wants immediately, like I got nothing else better to do but then wait for him those little dots to go up and down, a little wave of the dots, and know that Richard's getting ready to send me an email. I got to be listening to it. I'm not good like that. Okay, so it's my weakness, and I'll work on it and try and do better. But anyway, Bob Smiley was great. And I want to remind everybody what he said yesterday about the about the singles is not a 4-letter word. They are, he and another comedian is putting together some videos, and they're taking questions from singles. Doesn't have to be singles, but taking questions from them on his bobsmiley.com. It's pretty simple, SMILEY.com. And he'll take questions from you guys and saying what you'd like to know about, or maybe what's some advice about being single and all. And both these people are single now. They were married and they're divorced. So you think, well, what am I going to take? Why am I taking advice from them? Because they've been through it and they want to tell you about it and try and help you out. But it's in a fun way. So, just go having fun and to the site and let him hear your questions. Wow, I'm telling you, it's so much fun to get. It's so much fun to get, statements from our listeners, and we have this really sweet one that I pressed for you to guess who you think it might be. Okay, here goes. DAM. Oh no, he said darn. Darn radio alarm clock waking me up for this. I was having sweet dreams. Okay, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, Dennis. If you don't want to listen, then fine. That's fine. But anyway, so I just want to remind everybody that we'll have Bob Smiley show up soon, so you can listen to it if you missed it. If the alarm clock didn't go off and you missed it, we'll be sure and have it to you. I want to say hi to Carly and to Don Wilson. And, of course, Dennis, I'm so glad that you're awake. That's great. Okay, anyway, I wanted to talk about, which I totally ignored, and I know you all were going like, I can't believe she hasn't said one word about the joint session address from Donald Trump, from President Donald Trump. It was so hard for me. I was talking to Bob and I'm interviewing Bob, and that was, going to be his time, and I wasn't going to take away from him. But now that I'm here all by myself today, except Richard, who might interrupt once in a while, or I may ask him a question. But anyway, I will be here all by myself all the morning. I mean, just for this 1 hour though, and I want to talk about that speech. There was so much fun watching that speech because of the cutaways. I watched it on C-SPAN because I cannot stand, the commentary about what I just heard. It becomes so sickening to hear some anchor person tell me what I just heard. It's insulting. So I like to watch C-SPAN because it's just totally a pool, the cameras, it's a pool session for all the outlets of the media. And so they're getting reaction from people. They're getting really fun shots and catching people off guard. And some people, I would sue them if I were them because they looked so terrible. They looked awful. A lot of the, and on the Democrat and the Republican side, they should always remember the cameras are there. They should know by now. The cameras are there, so don't do stupid stuff, and reactions, your facial contortions, and all that was pretty funny. So I enjoyed. It's almost like watching Super Bowl with the commercials being the cutaways that the cameramen do, because they really don't have really a dog in the fight. They're just, they're getting paid their daily wage, and then I have to, try and find the most interesting shots in this place. And most of it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump was more interesting a lot of times than the people and their reactions because of what he was saying and how he was saying it. And everybody was just aghast after this was over. And that's what I like to watch, in the sense that how are they going to respond to what seemed to be his best speech ever, and what they were going to say. And surprisingly, most everybody, all the media outlets were talking about out of the park. He hit it out of the park. That was the one. That's the best one he's done. Now, if he could only do that and keep that up, that would be great. But do we ever see him doing that? No. And then they go off on it really bad. But it was his best speech, and there were moments he did get a little bit off of the teleprompter, but and then people started saying it's a teleprompter, it's not him. Why are we giving him so much kudos? Because he could read the words. Good for him. He could read the words and he pronounced them correctly. Wow, that's a great great basis for a great leader. Anyway, but they were trying to find something bad about what went on. And they had a hard time because everybody was agreeing that this was the one. If he could keep this up, we've got a president. He finally became president. And all that stuff that they were saying. So I enjoyed that. I enjoy politics so much, and I'm really starting to lose my taste for a lot of the news outlets. I just, the stuff they say, because you just heard what the guy said. You just heard it. And then they turn it around and make it something bad. You just get sick of that because you're like, I'm not so stupid. Why do you insult me like this? So I'm so happy that everybody agreed and everybody was so nice. That was so nice. Okay. I've got this Facebook page sitting in front of me in case anybody does want to ask a question or want to say something or make a comment. Some people take advantage of this. Did you see the comment that came up on Facebook, Richard? You see it? Okay. Okay, he saw it and he didn't do anything about it, so shut up. No, we had somebody say, please interrupt her, Dick, or this gun to my forehead is loaded and you're next. Okay. You see, you have to be careful who you speak to out there and who you allow to be your audience. That's the deal. It's just, I think we're going to have to vet some of the people that listen to the show. And if we're going to allow them to listen or read their posts that they make, it's okay. It's real reality radio. And if that's how you feel, that's fine. And if you want me to talk about something else, I will talk about something else. But this is like was a historical thing that that no one was ever expecting this guy to be there. And he's addressing both, the Congress, the Senate and the House, and he's addressing them. And they absolutely agreed this was his best speech. So it's historical in my perspective. Also, after the speech, the Wall Street's gone nuts. It went crazy. It's 21,000 now, and it'll correct, of course, I'm sure. But it was 21,000, and this morning, and that's exciting. So there is something to when Trump talks about the things he has in mind he wants to do, and it looks like he's trying to carry out every single, promise that he made because he doesn't want to be like those people that he slammed so bad. So he's got to be able to come up with some good stuff. But I am getting ready to go to a break. So everybody, it's okay. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It's only 2 minutes. We'll be right back. The Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
Remember, live is better. And if you can, join me Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and interact live on the show through my Facebook page. Let's get your morning started.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. I was just talking to Richard about our YouTube. That was just bad. Our YouTube deal. And where you go to YouTube and you can see the videos that, see the shows that we've done. Because we've had, now that we're being televised. And I have to put these on SoundCloud and YouTube, and then do a synopsis for our Lone Star. And I have been so bad about that. I thought I was all caught up, and I'm like ready to do yesterday's show and be like, yay, I got this. And he just showed me where December, I must have gone on vacation or something, and I didn't know. And I didn't keep up with stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try and go back and figure out what those shows were. And it's so much funny to cross-reference to find out what the shows. But when you do a show every single day and you have no interns or producers, that's what I need as an intern. Yeah. I need an intern.
I told you.
What? You got one for me?
No, I said, why
Oh,
would
I
I
can-
need to get you one? You're your own producer.
Well, you're the producer of the show too. Don't
We're
you
the,
want to
we're
have
the
a good?
host. We're the host of all the shows.
Yes, shouldn't you be helping getting the intern into this? No, Richard works really hard. He's got like 25 people to work with. Are there 25 hosts
I don't know.
that you have to work with?
There's a lot of shows.
Well, you gave me that number. It may have been fake news, but you were to make me feel bad. But anyway, if you go to SoundCloud, and if you haven't signed up as a subscriber, then if you're
Are
a
you on
subscriber,
iTunes yet?
No, but I did get. I got my the password and all that stuff. I was so proud that I did that. If you don't hurry up and help me get the rest of it, I'm going to forget what the password. I'm going to start all over again. I hate passwords. I hate them with a passion. I can't stand it. Why can't you just have one password, use it for all your stuff?
You can.
No, but then you get, and they want to change
You
it every
can.
2 weeks. That's a bunch of baloney. It's changing your password all the time. I mean, I have nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. Well, yeah, I have nothing to hide, but and I don't buy stuff online, and I don't put my credit card stuff online. I know that will be taken away from me, but it's just so confusing, Richard. I want to be caught up, and I want you to be proud of me, Richard. It's just that.
Okay, I have 17 hours of film to edit this week.
17 hours.
Yeah. There's 17 shows this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just Monday through Friday. 17 shows.
Man. That's not counting.
That's counting you. Yeah. You're a big chunk of it. You're 5 shows.
Yeah, but we're caught up. I mean, everything's done.
No, I'm just letting you know. You asked how many people
Yeah, how
am I
many-
dealing with.
Okay.
That's 17 hours. That's not people. That's just hours.
Right. But still, I
And
mean,
each show takes about an hour to do total.
yeah. See, he works so hard, and you guys, to appreciate the on-air stuff, not on air. We're not on Suddenlink yet, right?
Yeah, we are.
No, I'm talking about our shows.
Yeah, I've been submitting them for about a week. I just been waiting to get back a schedule. You can probably watch them right now.
You mean they're, because I go past 12 all the time, going to 13, 11, 13, and all that. So I pass 12, and I still see the Parks and Recreation. Are you? They're supposed to be replacing that. Are they going to have the show on the same time our show is
No,
on? No.
that's what they're determining because we're, like I said, we're providing 17 hours of TV to them per average week, and this isn't even our busiest week. Usually, our busiest week's the first week in the of the month, so it's about 22 hours or something like that because we had so many monthly shows at the beginning of the week.
Okay. Well,
So yeah,
so you're just using one of my shows?
no, I've been
Oh,
submitting every day, every time we film.
Oh, you do? Wow.
But that's what they have to determine what they want to schedule. So I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you every show that I edit on for like a week or two
Uh-huh.
to see how fast I get it to you, and then
Right.
y'all can figure out what you want to do with it.
Well, so if I don't see my show, it means I didn't pass their mustard or something, or they didn't like it.
I don't know, Cindy.
Well, you're my only conduit to them, so I just have to ask.
I
you.
told you I'd let you know when it's all completed. You don't check your emails
Don't give me that. You're going to use that like for
everything because that's how I
Everything.
communicate with the whole station. I can't call everyone on a group call. I mean, that'd be like 30 people, 40 people, and it's like, no.
Just send me a little text once in a while. You can.
I'm not going to
let me
send you a
know.
text. I'm going to send an email out to the whole station.
I'll check that because I didn't know that they were up on Suddenlink. Somebody
They should
asked
be.
me, just asked me today, like, are y'all going to be on Suddenlink? And
We should be right now, but we're not official yet. I've been submitting it for the past week, like I said,
You have?
and
Okay.
they're figuring out the schedule, what works for them.
That's
Because
challenge
you
12.
have to understand, Cindy, you're sending 5 shows for your show, and then we're sending 13 other hours they have to figure out on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to figure out where they want to put it. Like your show, I mean, I can imagine scheduling your show every day
Yeah.
because that'll just be a pain in the butt.
So, and they probably won't schedule shows that it's just an audio only.
No.
They won't do that. Okay. Well, I just.
So that's what I'm saying. It's another
Yeah.
thing. Like today's show's not being filmed.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm glad we can have these official discussions on the
I
air.
think this is great. People want to know behind the scenes and what goes on. So they'll
I would say
understand.
95% of all issues with Cindy Cochran is on Cindy Cochran. That's what I'm going to say.
Richard, why do you want to do that? I'm going to call your grandmother. I'm going to tell her, your boy has been so bad to me, your grandson. Oh, that's terrible.
If you talk to her like that, she probably wouldn't understand what's going on. Like, who's this?
I don't know. It just thinks when you talk about grandmothers, it should be an Irish accent. Okay, well then forget about it.
Yeah, I wanted you to get on iTunes because we got the Weekly Business Hour on iTunes, and it looks really good. I'll show it to you right now. If you search the Weekly Business Hour on your podcast network on your phone, on your iPhone, it comes up. So see, like I search, and there it is. And then there's a show, and you can subscribe, and you can look at all of the shows.
Well, I mean, people can do that on YouTube, though. They can go to YouTube.
Yeah, but on YouTube, you can't listen to YouTube on your phone because if you close your phone, turn it off, YouTube shuts down.
So that's why SoundCloud.
That's why SoundCloud's the good stuff.
So I guess if you have your phone in the car and you're driving along and you want
or
to
your earbuds in or wherever,
Yeah.
You don't have to watch. You can listen.
Yes, you don't have to. Yeah, because we don't want you watching while you're driving. And
Cindy does, though.
I would probably do that, though. I would see, like, what shot did he get of me?
Plus, people have data caps. So what's nice about the phone is when you're at home, if you're subscribed and you turn on your settings, it'll automatically download the show. So you don't have to worry about managing it. You just get it. Because if you subscribe to it on iTunes or Play FM or all those other things I asked you to sign the show up with, then they automatically get it, and then they don't have to worry about their data caps. They just get it in their car. They're not downloading it anymore. It's just playing from their phone.
That's true.
So.
And I always have to worry about that because that little prompt that comes up and says you have no more data, you have not done this or that, and so I don't know. It's not fair for people over my age to be so hamstrung by all the rules and regulations and the changes and the updates and all the
like today with phones, like people, if you have your phone right now, you can negotiate pretty heavily for your data plan. Like you really can, because there's so many. Like T-Mobile is doing really well now with their new unlimited plan. Because if you remember about 3 or 4 years ago, Verizon was like, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to have data caps. You're going to be like, you have to pay a lot of money for like 40 gigs for download.
Yeah.
And then Sprint was the first one that said, hey, you know what? We're going to do unlimited. So you just pay $100 or some ridiculous amount, but you get unlimited. There's no caps. And then T-Mobile came out and goes, we'll do unlimited, but we'll do it 40% cheaper. And now Verizon, because the only reason I know that is my brother, he got approached from Verizon, and he's been with Sprint with his company for, 10, 15 years. And Verizon basically goes, we can do unlimited now. And we'll put all your phones on unlimited and how much it costs. And it was crazy how cheap it was.
That's just boom for no competition at that point. There's none if they do that. But the data stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can negotiate. Like you go
Okay.
Especially what's funny about it, same thing with TV. And I've told you this before. TV, all they care about is you being their subscriber. Mm-hmm. So all you have to do is just sign another contract to get the new rates.
Right.
So, but I mean that's if you're okay with being on a contract.
Right.
So you go, who's your provider right now?
Verizon.
So you go to Verizon and be like, hey, I'm really thinking about changing to T-Mobile. I can save, $40 a month if I go with them, and I get more data. Mm-hmm. So what can we do here to match that? Or I'm gonna leave, and then there's a good chance you don't.
You are right. You're right about.
And all you have to do is just sign on for another a year or 2 years.
You need to call like every month, once a month, and talk to one of those guys. Say, okay, what's the special today? Because they do have specials, and you go, like, why didn't y'all call me and let me know?
Well,
I
that's why
missed
now. That's why now on their promotions they'll say you get to be a first time client or first time subscriber, because so many people were doing that. And
okay, but here's the deal: SoundCloud or iCloud will come and say
SoundCloud.
iCloud.
Who's iCloud?
iCloud. Isn't that what?
That's what Apple
the backup.
uses. That's what
yeah,
Apple
for the
uses.
backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes on and says, you have no more
space.
Data. You have no more space.
Space. Yeah.
You're not backed
You're
up.
only given like 5 to 20 gigs of space with the iCloud without paying more.
Okay, so it's saying you're not backed up, And I go like, well, I don't care. There's nothing I'm doing that I want to keep or
Well, your
remember.
contacts in your phone.
Well, if they said that would have made a difference. But I'm thinking that they're just talking about stuff that I'm looking at on Google or I'm, watching some video and they're backing that up. I don't care about that. I don't want that backed up. I'm not going to go back and try and retrieve it. Why can't I say, back this up? Don't back this up. Why can't I select that? So it's not.
There's certain programs that you can do that, but with Apple, I think they want all your data. So
that's not right. It's just that's very
well, you should be able
inconvenient.
to. I mean, I don't see why. Because I know a lot. What's funny to me, and I found this out about a lot of people who have iPhones, is they don't use their computer to back up their phone. Because back in the day, like when iPhones first came out, you would have to have an iTunes account. Meaning you had to have the program iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to literally plug your phone into your computer and it'd sync through iTunes. Like your phone couldn't be activated unless you had the program iTunes on your computer, like when iPhones first came out. And now, like everyone I basically know doesn't use iTunes to back up their phone.
Yeah.
I use iTunes.
You do.
So.
Well, okay.
Because you don't have to use iCloud. You don't have to use iCloud. You just use the computer.
There's so much. It's too much stuff, and I still believe in your idea for a school. Richard wants to do a school to teach the elderly, and so that he knows there's going to be a school there when he gets older and he forgets and he can't remember his passwords and he can't navigate through imagine what it'd be like when you're old. What's going to be like what will we be on at that time? What I mean. What I'm saying is like
you
what
say
you're
the
going to
same
be
thing about my grandfather. They probably
communicating.
never knew computers will really be that involved in your day-to-day life until that certain point in the 80s where it was just like, whoa, we can do a lot more with the way we live with computers.
Well, in the 80s, like 84, 85 is when people started even realizing, hey, you know what? We can have a computer. But it was so. My dad got the first one because my dad was all in electronics, and so he was so excited. But he had no idea what to do with it. But he got it, and it was It was the green screen and the light green text on it. And it's so funny how fast that all moved. That movies and everybody else couldn't keep up. So the movie that you would see, like 2 years old, a 2-year-old movie, would look so dated because of the electronics they were using inside,
Well, I
the
mean,
movie.
the PC didn't come out till like the late 70s, like the first PC, personal computer.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't out commercially. I mean,
No, it was available commercially. Yeah. Or no, commercially and retail. Like you could have if you had that kind of money, yeah.
So you don't
But there
think,
wasn't a
you don't
need,
think
though.
it was like
there wasn't
83
the internet,
No.
so there really wasn't a need for a personal computer at home unless your job required you to have a personal computer.
And who would you talk to except for your company? If the company had a big, like a big server that they have in the back somewhere to help you. But I was just, did you just flash? Okay. Well, I didn't know, you didn't flash, but I didn't notice that finger meant. Now I know. Okay. We will be right back, guys. We're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio. Oh, don't go away. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show, Real Reality Radio.
Hi, this is Cindy. Thank you for taking the time to snuggle up with a good computer and a latte grande and listen to the Cindy Cochran Show, having fun with the world's news and local happenings in your own backyard.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Thank you so much for joining us or leaving us or being here with us. I know this. See, sometimes we have just kind of a laid-back show because we have so many interviews that come through here during the week that sometimes you just need a show just to relax and talk about what's going on in your life and what you're interested in and maybe something that's trending as well. We like to talk about that. I love the fact that the last I heard, and maybe Richard, you've heard more, more updated, but I think the last I heard that about Tom Brady's jersey, $500,000. Have you heard anything more than that?
Nope, sorry.
They still haven't found it, but it's up to worth of $500,000. So I think it's going to be so fun to find out finally who, and maybe that doesn't interest you, but to me, what he went through with the Inflate Gate and all that, and then to win the Super Bowl like they did, and for him to leave his jersey, sitting in his bag or sitting on the bag or whatever, and then that was so sad that someone took it, and they thought it was in the truck on the way home to get it all cleaned with all the other dirty clothes there, and I guess it wasn't there. They didn't find it because now it's gone up to $500,000. So all of you on the market or in the market, I just want to let you know that. Also, we talked about, and it was just so amazing that something like this could happen at ABC on their Super Bowl night of the Academy Awards, that they would have such a flub at the end, the most important, and as soon as Warren Beatty had said La La Land, or Faye Dunaway said La La Land, a lot of people clicked off the TV and that was it. They went to bed. So when they woke up, they found out it was Moonlight. So, and then we talked about how that could happen, how it's going to happen. And now, if you've seen, and you'll see it today if you watch the news, about the guy who handed him the card, and that guy right after the one who won the Best Actress came backstage, and he said, "Oh man, here she is," and he's texting somebody, twittering or whatever he's doing, and he took a picture of her and put it on, and posted it. So there was a time stamp on when he was doing stuff, and he was that's what he was doing right before Warren Beatty came by to pick up his card, and he didn't give him the right card. He was still holding on to the winner of Best Actress, and now he's been fired from ever. Now he's not fired, but he's not ever allowed to come back to an Oscars again. Imagine the tongue lashing that guy got. And the woman who's on the other side handing out the cards as his backup or whatever, she was also told that she's never allowed to come back to the Oscars again. So I thought that was pretty mean, but that's what happens. And that really was such an interesting thing. It made the Oscars a little more interesting than they normally were. The other thing, we started talking about the Oscars at the, I guess, Monday, and but we had the whodunit thing, and then we've had people since then, and I never got back to the part where when he let in the people from off the street, they found out that one of the people, the tourists, they commandeered a tourist bus. I mean, this was all planned, and they had a plan that whoever was on the tourist bus, they wanted to bring them to the auditorium and say they were going to be able to go into a museum of where people wore the different gowns that people wore at the Academy Awards and get to view these gowns. And that's what they were told. So they're all excited. They got their cameras out. They're ready to go. And they walk down this hall, and they told them, we'll open the doors in just a moment. So get your cameras ready and all that. And Jimmy Kimmel is on stage going, okay. And they've been watching the tourists as they come down the back of the stage of the auditorium, and they're coming through, and they don't see anybody. They're just being taken right to the door, this back door that's going to walk in straight into the auditorium where everybody is. So he was trying to think of different things, like, let's all yell out this. Let's all, be real still, and everybody like a mannequin. Or he was just yelling out different things for them to do. So the people walk in. What they didn't know till after this was all over, one of the people on that tour bus had just been released from prison. Although that was pretty interesting for them to find that out. But anyway, they came in and they're just shocked. They're so shocked, and they start realizing where they are, and they're just jumping up and down and squealing and stuff, and they're going over and shaking everybody's hand. And this one guy said, Jimmy Kimmel came up to interview him, and he says, "So what do you think about this?" He says, "I want Denzel Washington to marry us." So they Denzel said, sure. And he came up, he came up there, and the guy and the girl got next to each other, and he said, you are married. I now pronounce you married. And they went, oh, thank you, thank you. They took pictures, and he went and sat down. So I don't know how legal that is, but anyway, they had their dream come true, and people were just going nuts. And it was the best to me, the whole best part of the pregame until the end of where they flubbed the deal with the winner. But it was fun to watch these people and their reaction, and then the reaction of the stars. They had fun. They got up and they were taking selfies with them, and this one guy was going and kissing each person's hand, and so it was great. It was a good creative thing to do. The things that they were doing by dropping candy and all down to the people in the audience, and snacks and stuff, because this thing goes on forever. But it was a lot of fun. So, had you heard that about the prisoner had you heard about what they had done with the tourist bus?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I guess you'd had to been there. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, but there is a lot of Trump fatigue, Jimmy Kimmel said, and so maybe next year we won't hear so much about Trump, because people are tired of it, and they were complaining about it. And now we've got, speaking of celebrities and all that, Sam Houston's birthday is today. It's March 2nd. And there's so many activities that are about to happen out there. And I know we had John Meredith on Tuesday, who does the reenactment of the Sons of the Republic of Texas. And they're going to be there. But there's going to be, it's starting at 9:15 this morning. You probably missed that, and it's now it's 10:45. But if you hurry, you can make the 11 a.m. ceremony at the Oakwood Cemetery. They're going to have a baptism, a Texas ceremony that happens, and there's T-shirts for sale. But at 12:30 there's a luncheon, and I'm sure that'll be so much fun. And you guys got to go to the luncheon. And you'll see the house, and you'll tour the house. So it's then they're going to have a birthday cake for Sam Houston. Now, if they have it next to the 70-foot or 80-foot statue, that would be really pretty funny. I love that statue. That statue, if you have never driven down I-45 coming out of Conroe, it's amazing. It's right there at Huntsville, and you'll be amazed. And the first time I saw it, it was dark, and it was a foggy night. I had not been down there since they had finally erected it. I'd heard something about it, but I didn't pay much attention to that. And so I'm driving down there, and I keep seeing something. I'm looking down the freeway. I go like, what is that? And it's very hazy, foggy type of night. But they have lights on it. So I'm trying to figure this out. What is this? And as I get closer, it looks like a person. And then you get closer and you see like the leg, like walking out of the forest, it looks like he's doing. But it was Sam Houston. It's huge. I mean, absolutely huge. It so represents the way Texans feel about, everything. But it's bigger than life. It's amazing. So a lot of people go, and I just try to imagine the person trying to take a selfie with it. How would you have to? And maybe I'll call in Aperture and what's the name of the show? What's the name of your show? Not your show, but one about the cameras.
Aperture and shutter speed.
Okay, Aperture and shutter speed. And call in and ask them, how far out would you have to be able to take a selfie, with Sam Houston? Maybe Richard, because he's an expert in that, can answer that when we get back. Because we've got to go to a break right now. Please don't go away. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, which is real reality radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Hi, this is Cindy Cochran, and just want to thank you for listening. And remember, I'm live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., and you can interact with the show through my Facebook page, The Cindy Cochran Show. It's real reality radio. Hey, give your ears a treat.
The Cindy Cochran Show. the most opinionated talk show on radio.
Man, you're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and we're so happy that you stayed with us. I was asking Richard, like, if you want to go and take a selfie with Sam Houston's statue, and everybody that lives around here goes like, oh, yeah, right, sure. Because of how, is it 80 feet? Is it 70 feet or 80 feet tall? It's huge. Anyway, doesn't, you know? Oh, he's going to find out. But
Yeah, I totally know that on the top of my head how tall the statue is.
well, you've got so many facts in your head, and that's why I never fact check you, because I know you have got, you know, you have so much information and knowledge, and by the time I finish this,
67 feet tall.
almost there. Okay, 67
And
feet.
he
tall.
himself was 6'6".
Really, he was tall. He was really tall. So if you wanted to go and take a selfie with him, I was asking Richard, like, how far would you have to be away from him, or just so you see the top of, at least you see your face, so you know that you're in the shot. And then he was telling me about this app that you have that you can set up a camera, and your phone will be seeing what the camera's seeing, and then you just try and coordinate that with where the statue is. But it seemed like you'd be so small by the time you got, if you wanted to get the statue in and you in there, you'd be really small. How would you even, right? Wouldn't you be very tiny? Okay, so are you going to say yes or no? Or are you just going to say
It just depends on the camera.
Oh, well, so I'm talking about just perspective and how.
Yeah, that's how you manipulate the perspective. It depends on the camera and the lens you're using.
Because, okay, so the more expensive the camera and the lens.
No,
power
it just
that you
depends
have?
on how close, how big you want the statue to be, how big you want it to be, and then you work it out from there.
Well, just I would want where my face was like full in the shot, and then he's behind me, but he's going to be too small to recognize, for it to be very good, right? If I want to, you know what you look, the look you have on your face. I wish the camera was on right now, because the look you have on your face is exactly what a mechanic has on his face when I go in there and ask him about what's wrong with my car. Richard, you've got to learn not to use that expression when you're talking to a woman, because that's so insulting. No, I understand. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say.
Maybe you need to figure that out first before talking about it.
Yeah, but you're the expert. You're supposed to be able to help me through it.
What I said, this is what like you go, how do I take a selfie of the statue of me? Well, I don't know, take a selfie. Like,
Okay,
do exactly what you just said you
but
wanted
it's just
to
like,
do?
is it possible, because it's such a large statue?
It just depends on where you stand.
Well, it's not, okay, so I get really far in front of it, right?
Yeah.
So go back, and then looks like he's not going to be great. Anyway, okay, so that's the challenge. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find out if I can actually take a decent selfie. Today's his birthday, so I don't think I'll make it out today, but maybe tomorrow I'll try and go out there and take a selfie and see what happens. Unless somebody out there wants to do that, report back. But I thought you could tell me, like, you want to always be, with a statue 67 feet, you always want to be at least 500 yards in front of it. You know, I thought you would be able to tell me something like that, because you understand all that stuff anyway. Okay, guys, listen. This is what is so fun about this show, is that we can talk about just about anything and go over stuff and get through it. And today was one of those days. But tomorrow will be a little bit more structured, just a little, because Joey Sheaf's going to be on. We're going to talk about what's going on in the movies and entertainment around Conroe. But you know, today's the first Thursday of the month, right? And so today, that means that you're going to go over and go to the park right across the street there, right across the street, right on the corner of Metcalf and Main Street. There's a beautiful place that they're going to have what's it called again? First Thursday of the month, the Farmers Market. The Farmers Market is over there, and you can go over there, and there's going to be entertainment, there's food, and all that stuff. So it's a lot of fun. So if you guys need something to do downtown, go to the Farmers Market. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow with Joyce Sheaf. We'll talk about movies, and maybe I can drag my husband Sam to a movie tonight that's going to be starting. Well, it starts tonight. It's the new weekend movies that start on Thursday. Okay, so I'll try and do that. But you guys have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful, gorgeous weather we have here in Montgomery County, and go do something fun. And call somebody you hadn't heard or you hadn't talked to in a long time. Okay, this is Cindy Cochran.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.